Welcome. My name is Herman Centeno, and I will be taking you through today's training that will focus on verifying your company and employee data. In order to complete today's training, you will need your login credentials to our payroll application, which should already been provided by your payroll specialist. If you have not received those, please contact your payroll specialist first in order to complete this training. Okay. I'll be going and changing my screen now, taking to our login screen, and I'll be simply logging in as a client, a test client, to show you how you would go about verifying your company employee data. So now that we've successfully set up your company information and payroll information, first thing you'll want to do is go to the Company tab and verify that the information we've loaded and inputted into the system is correct. So underneath Company tab, you'll be directed to the general information for your company, which will have company name, address, contact information of the main person for this account or for payroll. If there's any additional contacts, we would have those included within our general notes with their name and contact information as well. So you primarily want to take a look at this screen and make sure we have the correct address, mailing address if it's different from physical address. And you want to also make sure that we have the correct EIN number for you. Okay. Once you've verified the general information, you can simply start going down the list here. The administrators, of course, is where we add the main users to your account of folks in your organization that are going to be needing access to the payroll application. So please verify that the users we have in the system are correct. If we need to add additional users, we can do so. Just simply let us know. But again, just please verify that the information within the administrators are also valid users. In terms of auto reimbursements, these are any type of earnings that need to be paid out on a regular basis to certain employees. Right now you'll notice that I have an auto allowance set up here that automatically will show a $50 reimbursement every payroll to any employee I assign this auto reimbursement for. So if there's any auto reimbursements that you have within your payroll, just please verify that that has been set up here. If not, please notify the operations team or their payroll specialist so we can have that set up for you before your first payroll. The other thing you also want to verify is your banking information. Make sure that we have the correct routing number and account number. Okay. Moving forward, the benefit rules and benefit types are have to do in regards to time off types. So you first want to make sure we have the correct benefit types added into the system. So this would be your holiday, personal time, and vacation. Okay. The benefit rules are where we configure the different accrual rules for these benefits. So here is where you would see your PTO. If we click on the edit, you'll notice the accrual information or the accrual rules here. So for PTO in this example, we have our first year accruing at 40 hours per year. So you'll notice that from the first month to the end of the year, they're accruing at 1.538 per pay period as selected here on the benefit calculation type with a max carryover of 24 hours, but capping it at 40. So you'll notice that the not only months are designated here as to the different tiers, and you just simply want to verify that this information is correct. Okay. If additional rules need to be created, we can also create those rules for maybe different types of employees that you want them accruing at a different rate. But again, you just want to verify that the benefit types are accurate and that the rules are being, the accrual rate is correct as well. Now, in terms of the following branches, departments, and divisions, you want to make sure that if you are looking to have reports being grouped by these three types of cost centers, that we have those set up within the system as well. So for branches, you'll notice we can add different locations. To simply add a branch, we can simply click on Add button. You would give it a code, the name, the address of that location or branch, as well as the contact information for that branch. Okay? Once added, you'll see that in the list. Right now, you'll notice that I have a Pasadena branch added here with the correct information. Okay? Again, this is more for reporting purposes, and this can be added at any time as well. But if you do currently have that type of structure or setup in your payroll, you just want to verify that that is correct. Same thing for departments. You'll notice I can list different department codes as well as the name associated to that code, and I can add more departments if needed from here. Divisions. This can be for more general in terms of East-West division, or if you're using a marketing division, sales division, operations, accounting, you can also structure it that way as well. Once you verify that the three main cost centers, branch, department, division, are set up, you want to go ahead and check deductions and make sure that at a company level we have all the deduction types set up that we'll go ahead and assign to the employees. Okay. So if there's any deductions here that have not been set up, please just notify your payroll specialist, and they'll go ahead and add that for you. Okay. If you'd like to take a look at the details of this deductions, just simply click on the edit detail, and you'll see here the type of deduction that's been set up. For 401k, this is a pre-tax deduction. And we're not putting any dollar amounts because we're setting those up once we assign it to the employee. Okay. Moving on with earning types. The earning types division section, this is where you'll notice or see all the different earning types we have set up in the system for payroll purposes. The easiest way to verify whether we have the correct earning type set up for your payroll is to simply go to the payroll tab and access a current payroll. Let me just go ahead and create an extra payroll for this example just to show you the start button. Go ahead and update the date to be for Friday. And once you access the payroll grid, you'll be able to verify if there's any additional earning types that we need to set up for you. You'll see them on this drop-down list here. Okay. Again, the earning types for regular hour, overtime, double, that's already been set up and configured in the system. Those are usually standard earning types that we set up for all our clients. But the additional earning or extra pays is where you want to take a look to make sure that those earning types have been set up for you. Okay. Going back to the company tab. Once earning types have been confirmed, the holiday section here is simply if you want to note, just note the holidays that you observe for your employees to be able to view from their employee portal. Okay, it's just note that these dates are simply for showing your employees which holidays your company observes within the employee portal. Nothing is affected in payroll from these dates. Okay. Now, in terms of pay groups, the pay group is the pay frequency. We'll show you the pay frequency that we've set up for your payroll, as well as the pay cycles or the pay schedule for the next 2 years. So if you want to take a look at that, simply click on the icon here. And this will show the start and end date of each pay cycle, as well as when it's due and the corresponding pay date. So you just want to simply Go through this list, make sure those pay cycle dates are correct. And if any modifications need to be made to these pay cycles, just simply take note and let your payroll specialist know, and we'll help modify that for you before your first payroll. In terms of positions, we can also create a list of the different positions you want to track for your employees. Of course, positions are optional, but this will allow you to be able to track those positions within the system, within the employee record. Okay. To simply add a position, you can simply click on the Add button, position name and description. That's all that's necessary, and you can also add the pay ranges for that position. Okay. In terms of state tax, you want to make sure we have the correct state tax information set up for you in the system. You'll see probably the current year, and you just want to verify that the unemployment rate is correct, as well as your state EIN number. Okay. To verify or view the details, you can click on the edit icon, and this will show the information as well. If we are missing a state, please let us know, and we can add those states as well in here, but you just want to make sure that we have the correct information from the state that you currently have employees employed in payroll right now. For tax exempt, if this applies to you, you'll see certain tax exempt categories listed here. This is usually more for nonprofits. So I apologize, in this example I don't have any, but just note that if you do have, if you do fall within those within that category, that we would have those tax exemption categories listed here. Also for workers' comp, if we are going to be tracking or providing you with a workers' comp report, you want to also verify that the workers' comp information is correct. This is the workers' comp setup, where we are able to input the carrier information or your workers' comp provider, policy number, start, premium information. Workers' comp code, of course, are the codes that are going to be set up for your report, and then the mod factor that for the current year. Once you verify that information and it's correct, you successfully confirm the company setup. Next is to simply view the employee tab to make sure the employees have been set up correctly. Now, before clicking onto each employee, I would recommend that you access one of these reports here, the employee data report, which in this is an Excel spreadsheet of the employee information that we have in record. So let me bring that over here. And you'll notice this employee data report will show the employee name, birth date we have in the system for them, their contact information, hire date, termination dates, if provided to us, the wage start date, what type of employee they're set up to, hourly or salary, current rate. If they're hourly, it'll show the hourly rate. If they're salary, it'll show the per pay amount of their salary there in the field. Also, you want to make sure that we have them coded correctly to exempt or non-exempt, and that the overtime rate will also appear here for your hourly employees. In this report, you'll also see the federal and state filing status that we have set up for them. Single with 0 dependents, married with 2. So you just want to make sure you can go through this report and quickly view that employee information. Okay. Again, if we're using cost centers, you'll see the assignment that we've given that employee in the system for branch, department, or division. And also position name here. Okay. Now going back to the employee tab, Once you've gone through the Excel spreadsheet and you want to verify the employee's information, you can also access that information by simply clicking on the employee name from this list here. You'll notice that I'm currently looking at active employees. You can filter by inactive as well, or you can simply do all and do both active and inactive. Recommend always just having the active one here, and this will allow you to access those that need to be paid in payroll. From here, you'll be able to access the employee general information, again, making sure Social Security address is correct, that we have this position correctly assigned. Pay group, of course, will default to the pay group we have in the system. If you're set up with multiple pay groups, here's where you would assign the correct pay group to the employee. Okay. The other thing you want to take a look at is the auto reimbursements. If there's any employee that needs to be set up with an auto reimbursement, as we saw on the company level, here's where you would see the employee having that assignment. If that needs to be set up, you can simply add auto reimbursement for an employee, input the start date, the amount that you want to have automatically reimbursed. This is the amount that was entered at the company level, but it can also be overridden to any other amount as well. And if you want that paid as an extra check, you can click on yes. If not, it will be included in the regular check. Okay. Once you save it, now the employee will be set up for that auto allowance or auto reimbursement. It just happens that I named this as an auto allowance, meaning for their car allowance. Okay. Banking information here for the employee is if they are requesting to be set up for direct deposit. If they're not on direct deposit, you'll see that this will just default to none, not available, not available. To set up an employee with direct deposit, simply click on the Add button, and you'll be able to add up to 3 accounts, either as dollar amounts or percentages for an employee. Okay. Simply click on Next, and then you'll be able to enter the checking information for the primary account, routing number, account number, and then for the other 2. Bank history, of course, just a history of their previous direct deposit accounts we have in the system. Benefits is here's where you would assign the time off types that employee might be eligible for. So as you can see here, this employee has been set up for those benefits. If an employee needs to be set up for a benefit that does not show, you can simply click on Add, select the benefit rule you want to assign to that employee, when you want them to start accruing. And if there's any balance you want to bring over to that for starting balance for that employee, you can enter it here on the hour balance field. Or if you want to bump their months of service, meaning that you're hiring someone but you want them to accrue at the 2nd year, you would simply enter here the number of months starting for, so in that example would be 11 months that you want to add to their service timeline. And you can also make adjustments to their balance from here by entering a one-time used or one-time accrue as well. Okay. For deductions, here's where you're going to see the specific deductions that have been set up for the employee. You'll notice the deduction type as well as the amount that's going to be withdrawn from their account, or that's going to be deducted from their payroll check, I should say. So you just want to verify that the deduction types are there, that the amounts are correct. In terms of demographics, this is really just the cost center assignment for that employee. We've named it corporate, but you can look at the different division, branch, department assignment through the edit icon. In terms of employment history, here's where you can track any changes to the employee start or end dates. So if this is a rehire employee that you rehired, you'll notice the original start and end date here in the employment history. For dependent information, this is really optional if you wanted to track dependent information here. Just really name, relationship, gender, if that's something you want to go ahead and track for the employee within the payroll application, you're able to do so within the employee record. The HR file simply allows you to load any other documents you want to save within the employee record itself. It's again, both the dependent and HR file are optional, as well as the note section here. Now the tax exempt, again, for any employees that fall into a tax exempt category, here's where that would be listed. And again, this was part of the company setup where we had that tax exempt. In order for an employee to be assigned any tax exempt type category, we would need to set that up at the company level first. Okay? For general employee W-4 information for both federal and state, here's where you would be able to verify that information, make sure that it's been inputted and loaded correctly. And then the last part is, of course, wages. Want to make sure that the compensation for the employee is set up correctly. Here you will notice that we have the hourly rate at $15 with the overtime rate here. For a salary employee, let me go ahead and pull salary employee from here. It would show the salary rate. And if you need to take a look at the details, you can simply click on Edit Wage Details here. Make sure the overtime status is correct. We'll go ahead and change this to exempt. But you'll notice salary and the rate of pay for that employee. Now you'll notice we can track up to 3 different rates per employee, and you do have the ability to track other miscellaneous rate as well for any given employee. So if that's something that you need, just go ahead and discuss it with your payroll specialist first so they can recommend the best way of recording or inputting that information. Okay. So once you've gone through the company and the employee tab and access and verified that information, then you'll want to go ahead and just simply let your payroll specialist know that you've gone ahead and verify that. If there's any changes that we need to make in our end, please let us know before going live with your first payroll. Okay, that is the end of our training. Let me go ahead and take you to our PowerPoint side. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and email us at support@web-payroll.com. You can contact us directly as well. And thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.